Welcome to Category 5 Technology TV. This week we are going to be unboxing, installing, and testing a dash cam. These are great for security, and if you ever have an accident, we don't want you to, but if you do, you want to be able to prove that it was the other guy's fault. But here's the thing, we've got one for you this week that costs you only $30.
Don't believe it.
Stick around.
This is Category 5 Technology TV.
Our live recordings are trusted only to solid-state drives by Kingston Technology. Revive your computer with improved performance and reliability over traditional hard drives with Kingston SSDs.
Category 5 TV streams live with Telestream Wirecast and Nimble Streamer. Tune in every week on Roku, Kodi, Plex, and other HLS video players. For local showtimes, visit category5.tv.
Category5.tv is a member of the Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here. cat5.tv/DPN and the International Association of Internet Broadcasters. cat5.tv/IAIB.
Welcome to episode number 617 of Category 5 Technology TV. Great to have you here. Great to have you two here again this week. Nice to see you. And we've got a great show planned.
Yeah.
Sasha, you are going to be installing a $30 US dash cam in your car today. We're going to put it to the test. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. But it's dirt cheap, and we're going to find out, is it really worth that very, very small investment, or should you spend more?
Okay.
We're going to be looking at that in just a couple of moments. But before we get into it, I want to remind you to subscribe to us on YouTube. And while you're at it, click that bell, and that's going to ensure that you get the notifications anytime we post new videos or even when we broadcast live. It's a great way to follow the show. Another great way to follow us is through the Twitter channel. We're on Twitter. We're on social media. We have a Facebook page as well. All the videos go up there, and we do live broadcasting through YouTube as well as Facebook. And we're on Kodi, Plex, Roku, pretty much any platform, both on demand and live.
Yep.
So if you've got it and you're not sure how to get Category 5 on it, just ping our chat room, and we'll be able to hook you up. Quick congratulations to Solbu.
Yeah.
I don't know if you folks can see there on the screen in the Discord chat, has posted a photo of the new house that they've taken ownership.
It's very nice.
Very quaint little country home.
I would like to visit. It's far, far away, but I would like to visit.
In a land far, far away, Solbu and his country home, raising chickens and dogs.
Puppies.
Puppies.
For
yes.
sure.
Once they're dogs, they are out of there.
Yeah. I raise nothing but puppies.
There you go.
Wow.
Eventually they turn into dogs. Sasha, are you one of those dog owners?
That's right. Oh,
Dear.
you aged out of my house.
Oh, come on
Sounded
now.
real quick.
No.
I'm waiting for the puppy to become a dog so that he's like curl up at your feet and
See, this
you know
is
pet him, and,
perfect.
he's no longer bouncing around and jumping all over the place. And
See, our dog will be 14 in September,
yes.
and she's still a puppy.
What kind of dog is she?
She's a husky.
Husky.
Yeah, like, even the other day, we pulled out a laser pointer. She loved chasing the
goes
laser
at it.
pointer.
That's cool.
Yeah, so she still has puppy mentality, even though
Yeah.
when she runs, you can hear the bones
Too much
creaking.
energy. Oh, yes. Okay, well, we're going to get right into it, folks. I mentioned at the top of the show, we have a $30 US dash cam. I want to take a look at this. Now, Jeff, you have a dash cam. Sasha presently does not.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about what made you get a dash cam.
So, I mean, I commute all the time for work.
Yeah.
And in some days, I could be going 700 kilometers in a day. Like
Oh, I thought you was going to say 700 kilometers an hour. Whoa.
No,
Somehow
not that
I
fast.
wouldn't put it past him.
If my car went that fast, I'd consider it. Autobahn, yeah. No, but so in my time driving back and forth to the big city, I have been in 4 car accidents.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
and thankfully 3 were not my fault. One was weather related, and I continued to slide and I hit a guy.
Oh.
In a car.
Yeah, in a car. And thankfully, it was one of those like
Good clarification,
bump and you
Sasha,
get out
thank
and you're
you.
like, I don't see any damage. He's like, I don't see any damage, and we're good to go.
Everybody's good.
But I've had 2 write-offs, and in both cases, I'm like, I wish I had a dash cam because
Right.
I can show that I was sitting at the light, not moving. the radio's not on. I'm not on my phone. Like it's quiet.
If you have a dash cam, you are basically a super spy.
Does the dash cam just come on automatically? Like,
Yes.
So you don't have to think,
As soon as my
things are
car
getting
starts
dodgy,
up-
I'm going to turn you on.
No, as soon as I turn my car up, it's on, it's
Okay.
going. And so in the one accident that I did have where I had the dash cam,
Yeah.
it happened to be that every 10 minutes, because it records to an SD card,
Yes.
it will stop and then start a new recording.
And is there a
There's
gap?
like a 3-second gap.
Whoa,
And
3
the accident
seconds.
took place in the middle of that gap.
No.
I was like, no.
No.
So
that'd
all
be
you
the
see is me
test.
driving, and then the video comes on, and I've been hit.
Oh.
I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So
Oh.
That seems suspicious when you show that video to the police.
I was the one
I don't
hit,
know.
though.
That part just disappeared.
but for a camera that's $200, I would have thought it would do a little bit better.
Okay.
Right.
$200.
And that was about the cheapest we could find. And that was
Wow.
on sale as a Christmas special.
All right. Well, Pathing, I'm going to try to get the name right. Pathinglek has brought out a 1080p dash cam that is available for only $30 US. About, well, $45 here in Canada, our currency.
Yep.
And you can get one at cat5.tv/dashcam, or at least check it out and even compare to Jeff's. And I have compared because you actually talked about it previously on the show,
Yeah,
the one
that's
that you
right. Yeah.
that you got, and. So I kind of compared feature to feature, and some of the things that I love about your dash cam are in the $30
Really?
dash cam. Yeah, things like wide dynamic range.
Yes.
So, for example, it's getting a little bit dark out. It's not quite dark enough for the infrared to come on because it has infrared as well.
Yep.
It's not quite dark enough, but the wide dynamic range brings up the levels and the color saturation so that you have clearer video at dusk and,
Right.
and dawn, right? So it does all that. Now, they also, I have a bit of a discrepancy because on their Amazon profile, it says that they have a 3-year warranty, and then below it says there's a 1-year warranty. And sometimes you see this when information has been copied and pasted
Right.
by whoever's creating the profile, and unfortunately they miss that. I'm not too sure whether it's a 3-year or a 1-year warranty, but let's consider the price at $30 US. Even if it's only a 1-year warranty, that's pretty good.
Mine was a 1 year.
And what they say right on the profile, and this is reiterated, is that they have a promise of 24-hour resolution. So if you so resolution of your problem. So if you have a problem with this webcam, even though it's so cheap as far as the price goes,
Dash cam.
pardon me. Thank you. They will resolve it within 24 hours.
That's quick.
Presumably, if it's broken, they'll send you a new one. If
Right.
there's a problem, they'll walk you through how to fix it. Those kinds of things. So the warranty is there as well. It has a 3-inch IPS display. Do you want me to actually get into the box?
Yeah.
And I'll
Yes.
I'll
That
tell
way we
you
can
about
see what
these
you're talking
things.
about.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to jump over here, and let's actually open this thing up.
All right.
I'm excited. Because if this works, I'm totally getting it for my wife's car. She just picked up her new car today.
There you go.
She was in an accident a couple weeks ago.
Oh, and that would be perfect. I'm way over here. I'm gonna switch cameras here so that we can see the box, and I'm gonna pop into this. So a couple of quick mentions about the specs. It does have a 3-inch IPS display. Jeff, another thing that it has similar to yours is a 170-degree field of view.
Yes, that is nice.
It's really wide. We're going to see that a little later in the show. Here we go. So there it is, folks. The lens looks honking huge. It looks like they made it look like a DSLR. Now that lens is actually just the dot in the middle, and it's like a plastic housing to make it look more substantive than it is. But, I mean, it does look reasonable. Now, you see that LED light there on the left-hand side
Yeah.
of your screen? That's for the infrared as well. So
Oh,
it does
okay.
have an infrared sensor, and it's able to pick up night vision, which obviously we're not going to be able to test today because it's super bright out. We've got tactile switches, buttons, to be able to control the various settings, and they feel pretty good. See if I can power it on. Looks like it's, well, it flashed there for me. Let's try again. There it comes. Blue light.
Oh,
There we go.
Okay.
Pathing Tech. And there we are. We've got camera inception here. Okay. So, I mean, it looks okay. It looks just fine. I mean, it's a affordable little camera, but let's see what else it comes with.
Now, do you know what the battery life is?
I don't yet, but Sasha's going to let us know in a week's time because she's going to be using it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we've got the suction mount, pretty typical suction clip that goes on here and then secures to the windshield. It's got the switch, so it actually pulls back on the suction cup to give it a good seal to the window so it's not going to fall off. We've also got what looks like a permanent mount. So if you're really happy with it or you don't want it to be movable from one car to the other, you can actually stick it onto the... That would also let you stick it on the dash too, not the window.
Okay.
Then we've got the USB-A looking cable. Oh, and okay, so not even just USB. We've also got a plug that goes into your lighter and has the USB to power it. So that's good. Okay. And it looks like it's got a good long cable. We've got another 3M double-sided sticker. Information about the type of class card that you're going to want to use, class 10, up to 32 gigabytes, and it's micro SD. And then we've got an English manual and a French manual as well here in Canada. All right, there we are. That's all there is to it. Let's try to fire it up and see whether we can... I'm not sure if it came with a charge or not. Sasha, I've got... I noticed there it says February 5th or something like that. We'll fix the date during the commercial break before we mount it in your car. Or before you do. February 25th. There we go. Oh. So let's jump into the menus here. Navigation feels really solid. It doesn't feel janky at all. Oh, we've got a G sensor. So that means if you get in an accident, it will actually lock the files.
Oh,
so if
automatically.
Automatically. So it has looping recording. So as you approach the limit of the capacity of your card, it will automatically recycle the space. So it'll record over the oldest videos. Okay? But having that G sensor... Oh, and I'm going to put in the 16 gig Kingston Class 10. Having that G sensor means that when you get in a collision, if you do, it's actually going to lock those files because of the movement. It's going to detect the collision. And so that way it will not record over them if it loops. So it just gives you that added protection so that you're not going to lose your files. Yeah, it looks really, really good. So I mentioned the G sensor, and it does have 24-hour loop recording, and it has a parking mode. So you have to set this.
Okay.
It doesn't automatically set itself to parking mode, but let's say you park it. I've had this happen where I've taken the kids to a birthday party, and I parked my vehicle on the street, and somebody backed into my vehicle, and we were in the party. We didn't know. We came out, and somebody had hit and run. So in parking mode, what it does is it puts the camera into like a suspend state, a sleep state.
Right.
It's not using a lot of battery power, and your car's not powering it, so it has a built-in battery to keep going. And in parking mode, if it senses any motion, like if it sees any movement, it will start recording. So as a car is starting to approach your parked car, all of a sudden your camera comes to life and it records. So then if you came out and you say, oh, somebody hit my car, dash cam, if it was in park mode, will have hopefully captured that. If it's pointed, you can adjust the angle of the camera and do that accordingly. All that kind of stuff. I think that is kind of a premium feature for something at this price point. We do have to take a really quick break. I'm going to set the clock on that. I'm going to plug it into the charger real quick, and when we come back, you're going to have the opportunity to try that camera out.
Yay!
Stick around. Welcome back. This is Category 5 Technology TV. Now, before the break, we unboxed and quickly had a look at this $30 dash cam. And this comes to us from Pathing Tech. Why is it spelt wrong on the site? I think it is
I don't
Tech.
know, but on the thing, it looked like Pathing Tech.
It looked like a T, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Amazon has it wrong.
Oh!
So that is why I'm stumbling on it. Pathing Tech. That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Either way, If
Either
you
way,
go
it's $30.
Either way, if you go to cat5.tv/dashcam, all one word, that's going to actually take you to it. And you're going to be able to just compare that with the dash cams that are costing a lot more. I was saying before the break that it seems like some of the features of this camera are quite premium for the price tag.
Yeah, some of them are features that even my camera doesn't have.
Oh, well, see, technology progresses, prices come down, and here we are in 2019. This looks like a pretty decent little rig.
Yeah, when you mentioned the G sensor, that right there did it for me, because from my car, the one I have in my car, it's a manual button. So if I get in an accident, I have to hit the button.
No.
Which doesn't help if I get schmucked and I'm knocked out.
Oh.
Because then the loop goes, and it's like, oh, whoops, we lost the video.
Oh, darn.
So it's a manual button for mine. So I love that that is automatic.
All right.
And it doesn't have the parking feature.
We're not going to get into a collision tonight, so we're not going to actually get to experience the G-Shock feature. However, I am going to switch over to a video that we recorded just before the show. So this is Sasha just before the show tonight, and I'll let you kind of explain what's going through your head.
Mounting the suction cup thingy.
Yeah.
Which was super easy. It has a little clip. See?
That's great.
Then the actual dash cam itself just slides right onto that holder.
So super simple, eh, Sash?
Yes.
I just mean like it's an easy install. It's not like it's not rocket science to do this. Like, it's just a simple thing. But for the price, I'm eager to see how it performs.
Okay, so you're plugging it in directly.
Yeah,
that's the USB.
Yeah, there's like a little...
And that's just because of the low battery?
Yes. I probably should have looked at it before I put it on my window.
You should have read the instructions.
I should have read the instructions, Jeff.
And well, while we're seeing this, just to clarify, Marshman let us know it is pathing LEC.
Pathing LEC. Okay.
Yep.
So there we have it. Pathing
There
LEC.
we go. This is how it should be done.
There you go. All right, so it's plugged in.
I love the head nod. There we go.
Now, do you think that there's enough length there, Sasha, that you could drape? I know you're just going to drape this down to the lighter socket, but could you like put this around?
Oh, certainly I could.
Okay. Oh, and now you just started the car.
Yeah.
And it just fired up and started recording.
Which is awesome.
The light turned red.
Okay, so it turns on automatically when it senses power from the vehicle. Oh, that was a video of it.
Yeah. Cool.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Okay. Car looks nice and shiny, Sasha. Well done.
Thanks.
Let's get some dash cam video and see how this thing performs. So just a quick little jaunt around Barry. Look at that. I love the wide angle view. It's
clean.
So if you had a car coming up on either side, just consider as you look at these roads, you're not going to have any trouble seeing a car coming from the side.
Now, does the dash cam have a microphone on it to record what's happening in the car?
Mm-hmm.
It does. Okay.
Yeah, in fact, we can hear that a little bit in the background right now. I know you don't have a headset, so you can't hear it, but I can.
Oh, okay.
I did pick like the bumpiest road.
You really did. Like, let's find the industrial zone of Barrie where there's all the potholes and railroad tracks.
But that's okay, because I mean, it even shows you how it performs on a bumpy road.
Right.
I'm thinking that, Jeff, because I did try to do some handheld shots to just some B-roll for this, and it was very bumpy. And as I'm watching this, it's really smooth.
Yeah.
Like, very smooth.
I'm blown away.
That's great. And the colors are great. Like, it's a good-looking video.
And so this is out-of-the-box settings. Like, you didn't have to adjust anything, I mean, other than the date.
Yeah, that's all I did was set the date and time at the bottom left there, so you can see exactly when we actually recorded this just a couple hours ago. Otherwise, there's no settings were changed, Jeff.
Look at that.
Yeah. Well, hey, looks great. Folks, what do you think for a $30 dash cam? Sasha, will you report back in a week's time and let us know what you think of this?
I certainly will. This is amazing. So.
And I want you to try that parking mode, too, and just see how that functions.
I
Just
think-
dance around in front of the camera and see if it starts recording all of a sudden.
That'll be my ideal, like having that parking mode. For the work I do, I want to have my car,
Yeah.
watching what's going on when I'm not in it.
Well, that looks great. So, folks, this is, it's pretty dry video, but this shows the quality of this. Now, a little bit of specifications for you. It is 1080p. I did mention that, but so we're looking at 1920 by 1080 resolution. So high enough that, as you can see, it's crystal clear, but you could even take stills from this, and they're going to be pretty good quality for sure. Wow. I'm actually pretty impressed with this. Jeff, your camera is, you mentioned it was $200.
Yeah.
And do you have any comparison, like any visual?
From a video standpoint, I would say
Pretty similar, or?
I would actually say this is better. I think mine's a 720.
Oh,
Okay, now there was
is
a
that
blip
true?
there. Was that part of the loop?
That may have been the loop, Jeff.
Oh my goodness! See, mine actually disappears for the loop.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I had this on. I saw that it was loop recording, so. And we just stuck a Kingston SD card, micro SD, class 10 in there, and it seems to work just flawlessly. Like, we haven't had to monkey with it or anything, eh, Sasha? Like, it's just works.
Yeah, no, I think that was a better video feed than my camera.
Wow.
So yeah, I'd say $30 for the win.
Well done, Sasha. We got the thumbs up.
Yeah.
So, what do you all think? cat5.tv/dashcam for the $30 dash cam, and I'm working my way around.
Yeah,
That's insane.
Oh, it's a really great camera for that price.
Yeah.
That is blowing my mind.
Well, I mean, at that price, you can get one for the front and the back.
Right?
Do you, yeah,
You
that's
could
a
put
great
one
idea.
on your back window so that you're always filming.
That's a really great idea.
I'm full of great
You could
ideas.
put one in each of the corners and do carpool karaoke. You know what I'm saying? It's not that bad,
you
not
could.
that shabby. Do you tell your insurance company that you have a dash cam?
I did.
And did that impact your
Not at all.
premium at all? Not at all?
No.
I know, like, when we install surveillance cameras and things
It does
like
for
that.
house insurance, but it
Yeah.
didn't for my car.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Now-
that's another thought. I
Yeah.
know that your car has been broken into in the driveway. So
Yeah.
having something like this.
And at work. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
caught that guy.
Oh, good. Okay. So, that's another thought, is it could be used with the parking mode. It's going to pick up motion.
Now, would it pick up the sound of a smashing window?
It doesn't pick up sound. Oh, it hears the sound, but no, it's
It doesn't
motion
activate
activated
it, yeah.
in parking mode.
Right.
Or if the car is running, it's just it's recording all the time in loop mode.
Okay.
So there's like a seamless recording all the time while you're driving.
Now, if they added that feature and say did a firmware update that you can update through the SD, where like it picks up on the smash, that would be a phenomenal feature.
That's mind-bendingly crazy for a cheap camera. Although I think about like Wyze. I mean, we're not saying that they are going to do that with this camera,
Right.
but like Wyze cams are an example of like a camera that is constantly being upgraded and updated
Yes.
Yeah.
and becoming better and better, and they're only $30, and it's like, holy cow, how are they doing this for so cheap? But this one, as it is, right out of the box, I'm impressed.
Oh, that was good.
I think that's pretty awesome.
I love it.
Check it out, cat5.tv/dashcam. Have you got a dash cam, and have you ever had an accident where you're not at fault and that was helpful for you when it came to like talking to the police
Exactly.
or your insurance company, anything like that?
I feel like you must be able to go to the accident reporting because they ask you for a description of the actual accident.
Yeah.
Could you not just hand
What
them
happened?
the SD card
Yeah.
and be like, this is my description?
Yep.
Yeah, here you go. So just show them on. With this also, I should mention one final thought. You can switch modes to playback, and you can actually play back the video on the 3-inch screen.
Right.
So if you had an accident and the police were there, you could say, look, here you go. There's what happened.
This
And-
would also be good for like incredibly picturesque roads.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, here we have beautiful windy roads with great scenery. Not
Not necessarily
Not
the ones that we went
here. By here, I mean like
Yes,
very in
Barrie.
area.
Yeah, if you drive 20 minutes in any direction,
Yeah.
it's gorgeous.
And you could, I mean, because it's got the suction cup and it does have the battery, you could put it even on like the hood of your car for
You're just full of ideas and gimmicks, Jeff.
I'm telling you.
Don't do what he says. I'd be so afraid of it flying off and hitting someone. And hurting them, Jeff. Hurting them.
If you're going down a country road, the likelihood of it, I mean, other than hitting a cow.
Don't do it. Leave it inside.
It's going to stay
Leave it
inside.
inside.
Sasha, do it. Just for the review. By next
No,
week.
don't do it. Don't do it. That's what, like, if you're going to do that, you need to have a proper mount.
yes.
Yeah. Like we have, for example, if we were shooting that type of video, we have something like this, right?
That is
Right,
good.
okay.
It has multiple suction cups, and that's going to,
Yeah, that would work.
yeah, that's exactly what you need. So keep that in mind. Don't listen to Jeff. Don't ever listen to Jeff.
I used up all my good ideas at the beginning of the show.
All right, well, it's time to head over to the newsroom. Sasha, if you're ready, we're going to jump over there.
All right. Here are the stories we're covering this week in the Category 5.tv newsroom. It's decided Facebook will be fined a whopping $5 billion over the Cambridge Analytica scandal. The fully interactive Doctor Who VR game, The Edge of Time, is arriving in September. An artificial intelligence system created by researchers at the University of California has solved the Rubik's Cube in just over a second. And Intel has unveiled its new AI system, Pohoiki Beach. It's a neuromorphic computer capable of simulating 8 million neurons. These stories are coming right up. Don't go anywhere.
This is the Category 5.tv newsroom, covering the week's top tech stories with a slight Linux bias.
I'm Sasha Rickman, and here are the top stories we're following this week. It's decided Facebook will be fined a whopping $5 billion over the Cambridge Analytica scandal. The Consumer Protection Agency in the U.S., the Federal Trade Commission, or FTC, began investigating Facebook in March of 2018 following reports that Cambridge Analytica had accessed the data of tens of millions of its users. As it turns out, the political consultancy firm was able to improperly obtain the data of up to 87 million Facebook users. The investigation focused on whether Facebook had violated a 2011 agreement in which it was required to clearly notify users and gain express consent to share their data. In a 3-2 vote, the record $5 billion settlement was approved by the FTC. The fine still needs to be finalized by the Justice Department's Civil Division, and it is unclear how long this may take. If confirmed, it would be the largest fine ever levied by the FTC on a tech company. Facebook had been expecting this. It told investors back in April that it had put aside most of the money, which means that the firm won't feel much added financial strain from this penalty. What we don't know yet is what additional measures may be placed on the company, such as increased privacy oversight, or if there will be any personal repercussions for the company's chief executive, Mark Zuckerberg. The settlement, which amounts to about 1/4 of the company's yearly profit, will reignite criticism from those who say that the fine isn't much more than a slap on the wrist. $5 billion is not a slap on the wrist.
It feels
For them it
a
is.
little larger to
Like $5
little more
billion
than that to me.
is a big fine. It is.
Yeah.
I don't think that they're going to ignore the fine, right?
No, of
Like
course,
they're not going to
but
continue.
They've
along.
already put most of that money away, which
Yeah,
means
that's nuts.
they had access to most of that money.
We'll take
as
that
it
out of
is.
our surplus.
Right. You want to make it hurt? You go beyond that. I quite frankly, I do think it was a slap on the wrist. And I was reading an article that there was a jump in shares after the fine was announced. Why, I have no clue. But the jump in shares almost produced the same amount of money that they were fined.
Wow.
People are in love with Facebook.
That's nuts.
So it's like, oh, bad publicity. Good on Facebook. Oh, we just made the money back. Like, to me, that's stupid.
From a
They-
legal standpoint, like what have they accomplished? That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
They've
Right.
accomplished nothing, virtually.
Right.
What are they going to do with that $5 billion?
It's going to go into the federal coffers.
Huh.
What I want to know is this going to produce lawsuits? Like, is somebody going to say, I'm suing you now, Facebook. You've been found to be in
I
violation.
was one of those victims.
Yeah, I was a
Yeah.
victim, and my life has been impacted because now I see these advertisements that I never wanted to see before. I
Making me
want
spend my money. I
$10
need you
million.
to reimburse it.
But I mean, I could see a class action suit coming out of this. I mean, is it going to amount to much? Probably not. But
Right.
I just, quite frankly, with all the money that Facebook makes and all of the intrusive nature that they have built their company around, I think $5 billion is a joke.
What would you set it at?
I would have put it at around 15.
I would not. $15 billion.
Yeah.
Too much.
But the other thing is, I think this is a settlement. I don't think it was a straight up fine. I think they cut a backroom deal, so they knew it was coming.
It's still one
Possibly.
quarter. 1/4 of the annual earnings. If I had to spend 1/4 of my earnings on a fine, I would be eating Mr. Noodles.
I think we're in a different tax bracket.
I'd be eating Mr. Noodles for a year.
But like, think about it. That fine is 1/4 of their yearly revenue, purely from selling your personal data. That's what they do.
I am, yes, I am
Like-
not defending Facebook. Remember, I am not even on Facebook anymore. That's how saddened I was by all of this privacy breach.
Yeah, and I don't think Zuckerberg's out the window. They're not going to touch him.
No.
Like,
I'll tell you what, like as a user, as a programmer, the whole Cambridge Analytica thing, what has it meant to me is strictly frustration to the point where I've canceled all Facebook services within my company.
Right.
Like I no longer provide
Right.
Facebook services to our customers. I had somebody even message me asking me to set up an Instagram profile, and I said, go elsewhere. I'm not going to do it. I'm not dealing with that company anymore.
see, here's the thing that bothers me a little bit about this story, and I know we got to move on to another one. You look at when Elon Musk made his tweet about cutting some deal overseas or something that never came true, and suddenly he had, from the Trades Commission, had a year of sanctions for Twitter, and he had to have somebody, like an ethical person, follow him, and like, like there was a lawyer attached to it. So like there was this big deal. Whereas Facebook releases millions of people's personal information, and they go, pay us some money. Like, where is the impact on the company?
Yeah.
I think there should be a whole lot more that comes with it.
I think the impact on the company is companies saying, I'm not dealing with Facebook anymore.
But look at
I'm
the
not buying advertising space on Facebook. Now, we have a Facebook profile, a Facebook page for Category 5 TV because there are a lot of users. And so we want it to be accessible to you. But personally, I don't use it and I don't support it.
Like, look
And
at
that's
the whole
what it's
Face
led
app
to.
that blew up again this week. And all the personal data that's being taken from that. People just don't care. Like, the public doesn't care. And I realize it's a broad anyway.
Yeah, I don't like to generalize, and I apologize for the generalization because you may be saying, no, I do care.
Yeah.
I absolutely care.
Right.
I've canceled my account, or maybe I didn't even sign up for one because I didn't agree with their terms of service. But the fact remains, like, we are in a different era now than we were 10 years ago.
Yep.
The types of data thievery that are happening in things like social media didn't exist 10 years ago, and so the law has to catch up.
Yep.
We know that. Like, there's so many different... We could talk about MPAA, we could talk about like all these things, and they haven't caught up yet. And maybe it's just one step, at least. Maybe it's not about Facebook. Maybe it's not going to dent them, but maybe it's going to protect users from the next big breach, because the next big breach
hopefully.
is still on the up and up.
Hopefully.
Right? We don't really know. It's big picture stuff.
The fully interactive Doctor Who VR game, The Edge of Time, is arriving in September. The Doctor has been hurled through time to the end of the universe. A virus that threatens to rip apart reality itself has been unleashed. Players can pilot the TARDIS on a journey across the worlds, both familiar and strange, to recover a series of powerful time crystals that can repair space-time and ultimately save the universe itself. Following the recent reveal of the animated VR experience, Doctor Who: The Runaway, a new cinematic feature-length Doctor Who VR video game is coming this September. Published by PlayStack and developed by Maze Theory, Doctor Who: The Edge of Time will transport fans into a globally beloved world of aliens, mystery, and wonder, letting them embark on a brand new and fully interactive adventure, inspired by the show's 55-year history and starring the Doctor's current incarnation, played by Jodie Whittaker. Armed with the iconic sonic screwdriver, Players will solve mind-bending puzzles, grapple with classic monsters, and encounter new horizons in a quest to find the Doctor and defeat a powerful force that threatens to destroy the fabric of reality. They will face the infamous Daleks?
Daleks, yeah.
Daleks?
We have one here on the set.
And other known faces from the Doctor's universe, plus some brand new, never-before-seen monsters as they travel through stunning cinematic environments that truly bring the show to life.
Okay, so first of all,
That's
a Dalek. Yeah.
I am waiting.
I feel
I'm gonna watch
crowded
the whole
now.
thing at
Exterminate.
once.
Okay, so my kids are going to be thrilled about this. I'm thrilled about this. First of all, the storyline sounds like my day-to-day life.
It sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. These days they can do so much. And the Jodie Whittaker is, in fact, involved in the actual game. It's going to be a lot of fun for Jodie Whittaker fans and
Sure.
the 11th Doctor fans as well. So this is great.
Yes.
And we've got also the Orville interactive fan experience, which is
Yes.
coming to Steam within the next couple of weeks. Like the coming soon is already on Steam, so do a search for the Orville. So we're looking at like some of the great sci-fi shows right now are going to be playable VR games.
Yes.
That's cool.
It's very cool.
So
Very fun.
looking forward to this one too. Thank you, Sasha.
You're welcome. I love VR. An artificial intelligence system created by researchers at the University of California has solved the Rubik's Cube in just over a second. Deep Cube A, as the algorithm was called, completed the 3D logic puzzle, which has been taxing humans since it was invented in 1974. Professor Pierre Baldi, who authored the report in Nature Machine Intelligence, said, quote, "It learnt on its own." The researchers noted that its strategy was very different from the way humans tackle the puzzle. Professor Baldi says, "My best guess is that the AI's form of reasoning is completely different from a human's," end quote. The computer algorithm is not the first or the fastest non-human to solve the puzzle. That honor goes to a system devised at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, dubbed the Min2-phase algorithm, which solved the puzzle 3 times faster. But that system did not use a neural network, which mimics how the human brain works, or machine learning techniques. By contrast, it was programmed specifically to solve the puzzle. Creating a system that teaches itself to complete the challenge is seen as the first step toward creating an AI that can move beyond games to solve real-world problems. Professor Baldi says, quote, "The solution to the Rubik's Cube involves symbolic, mathematical, and abstract thinking. So a deep learning machine that can crack such a puzzle is getting closer to becoming a system that can think, reason, plan, and make decisions," end quote.
This sounds awesome.
This is an interesting story. I get the rationale behind using it to learn to solve a Rubik's Cube, but the Rubik's Cube has been solved. Like, you go online and you can, it's like, do this, and there's a sequence you follow.
Is that how I can do it?
Yeah.
It took how many
Except
seconds
that
for this
that's
machine?
not how the machine did it.
Yeah.
Right. No, I get that.
Yeah.
But it's
It learned a new
interesting.
way.
It's interesting. Life finds a way. It's an interesting way of how they've used it. But at the same time, I'm going, pick something that isn't as solved
Right, but
as a
they
Rubik's
can't
Cube.
prove-
Missing the point.
I'm not missing the
okay,
point.
But they
Absolutely
need
you
to.
are.
Okay, so they need to prove how fast it can solve something by testing it against something that's already
But also
solved.
how it solves it.
Yes.
Ask me an
That's
abstract
interesting.
question. Just ask me any question. Just something completely out there.
How many particles of fuel do you get behind a jet stream?
See, I don't know the answer to that. I have no clue. And I can answer that. Gosh, you could have asked me one that I could at least answer.
You said any question.
But the fact here is that, okay, so I've sat down with a Rubik's Cube.
Yep.
Yes.
At the cottage because, you got to pass time
Yeah.
just being lazy. And not that there's anything lazy about a Rubik's Cube. I'm an intelligent guy, though.
No, it's good for stimulating the brain.
Yeah, and I'm an intelligent guy, but I don't think I've ever solved it.
No.
I think I've gotten to the point where I'm just frustrated. I got like 2 sides, and I'm like, forget this.
My grade 11
So
math
I
teacher was
actually
looking at
pulled the
it.
pieces out and reassembled it.
As a kid, I de-stickered it and redid it. So just consider that, okay, so I gave up as a human.
Yeah.
Now, this is a computer algorithm powered by AI technology, a neural net. So the closest thing to a neural net that we've basically seen, like we're really starting to see these things. So think like Lieutenant Data starts to think for itself. So here's the challenge. So I've said to this computer, here's the challenge. You need to make the colors match.
Yeah, just over a second.
That's all that they've told it. That's it. That's it. That's the end game. And the computer has said, okay, boom, 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 figured it out.
Yes.
And trial and error, and maybe if I try this, and figured it out.
Right. No, and I get
That's amazing.
it is, and the fact that it did it in just over a second, like I get it.
A second.
Well, isn't that what it said in
yeah,
the story? It's just over a
exactly.
second. Like it solved it in just over a second, which is amazing.
So solved it, but figured it out. Not just like, it's not like they said, okay, I'm going to program it to turn it this way, turn it that way, turn it that way. No, they said, this is what you need to do.
Yep.
Solve it. And the computer figured it out.
Yes.
It is amazing technology that will change the world.
Yeah.
Sure. Absolutely.
So on the positive side, you say to this similar technology, how can we solve an environmental crisis?
Right.
How can we get the oil spill out of the bay?
Right.
And it can. This is the idea:
Easily,
is
yeah.
that we're going to get to the point where we can ask those kinds of questions of an AI, of a computer. You think Google's fast? You think Google's impressive with its results? Well, this is going to blow your mind.
Sure will. The thing with this story that makes me go, a little bit is the fact that it solved it in a completely different logic pattern than the way that humans do.
Yeah, it thinks differently.
It does, which
Yeah.
is wonderful. But if they're looking to have AI mimic humans to allow it to do the work, to then take that and go, okay, what about this complex thing that we haven't been able to figure out, leads to logical thought that says it's going to come up with a solution that we can't wrap our heads around.
That's the inevitable question of
Right.
how do we control AI?
So I
That's the
think-
biggest question right now.
And I think that is the whole part of this story that excites me the most, is that it's not about the Rubik's Cube. It's about, this is how it thinks. Okay, how do we adjust
Yeah.
the AI programming to think like we do? When they could do that, that's a whole nother game changer, because then it goes, hey, how do we solve the Great Garbage Patch in the Pacific Ocean that's double the size of Texas? Oh, we'll go about it this way.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
And like,
that makes
boom,
sense.
there's the answer. And when Martin Ford came on the show to talk about artificial intelligence and where they're at right now, as an author in the field, like he used examples like we do need to understand the process
Yes.
that the AI is using to get to the solution. We need to understand that. We also need to have control, because a simple request of this AI to say, and the example that he used was to make our paperclip company more efficient. And then all of a sudden the AI takes over, and within no amount of time, the AI is like pulling resources from everywhere and making an efficient paperclip company to the point where now human civilization is destroyed, but paperclips are still being manufactured very efficiently. We have to have control. We have to actually understand the process that the AI is thinking.
Right.
And get our heads around that, which is tough
Now, the one,
if they don't think like us.
I agree.
Right.
We've got the chat room running as we're talking about this, and the Foo brings up a good question, is how many times did the AI have to solve the puzzle first? That would be interesting to know. Was it a simple, oh, this is the situation, I'm going to run some thoughts, okay,
Yeah.
or did it actually go through trial and error? That'd be interesting to know.
Sure. And I
then-
would imagine, and we don't have the answer to this, and it's not in the news, but I would imagine that it's like it learned it, and then it was able to solve it after having learned it. I don't think that the 1 second included the learning and figuring out how to, but then when it was presented with it having learned how to deal with a Rubik's Cube, boom,
Because
did
even
it in
with
a second.
human, like a human child, you would be like, this can move this way and that way.
So that takes time. Oh, yeah,
Right,
yeah.
So you'd have to teach it something.
But it's a good question, so that we'll pose that to the AI. We'll ask.
Intel has unveiled its new AI system, Pahokee Beach. It's a neuromorphic computer capable of simulating 8 million neurons. Neuromorphic engineering, also known as neuromorphic computing, describes the use of systems containing electronic analog circuits to mimic neurobiological architecture in the present nervous system. The goal of neuromorphic research is to achieve a supercomputer 1,000 times more powerful than any today. During the DARPA Electronics Resurgence Initiative Summit in Detroit on Monday, Intel unveiled a 64-chip computer capable of simulating 8 million neurons in total. Intel Labs Managing Director Rich Ulig said Pahokee Beach will be made available to 60 research partners to, quote, advance the field, end quote, and scale up AI algorithms like spare coding and path planning. Pahokee Beach packs 64 Loihi 128 core 14 nanometer neuromorphic chips, which were the first detailed in October 2017. Each Loihi processor has a 60 millimeter die size and contain over 2 billion transistors, 130,000 artificial neurons, and 130 million synapses, in addition to 3 managing Lakemont cores for task orchestration. According to Intel, Loihi processes information up to 1,000 times faster and 10,000 times more efficiently than traditional processors, and it can solve certain types of optimization problems with more than 3 orders of magnitude gains in speed and energy efficiency as compared to conventional CPU operations. The chip consumes roughly 100 times less energy than widely used CPU-run simulation, location, and mapping methods. Intel says that later this year will introduce an even larger Loihi system, Pahokee Springs, that will deliver an quote, unprecedented level of performance and efficiency for neuromorphic workloads with upwards of 100 million neurons.
But they didn't cover what the giggle score is?
Yeah. 3 points. 1, do you remember when processors had really friendly names like Pentium, Celeron?
That's right.
So, well done. Everything is like a foreign word now. It's really tough. But you get the gist of it. 2, when can we add our crypto miners to this?
Yes.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I mean, third question is like, and not really a question, but more of a statement. Seeing how technology has progressed and hearing now that processors are being described in terms of neurons and positrons. Like, this is the stuff of Star Trek.
Yeah. It is.
Like, we're talking a brain. This is a brain.
Right.
At 8 million... What is it? 8 million...
Synapses? No, neurons?
Neurons?
Neurons.
So we're what? Like
How many do we
billion?
have?
A billion, I think?
Is it a better brain than we have?
No.
No, oh gosh, no.
No.
It's faster.
I don't know them. So, yeah, no, this is nothing compared to a human brain. But again, going back to knowing that that computers are starting to think.
Yeah.
And that they're building a brain out of computer chips.
Now, what I want to know, though, is how does this compare to Watson?
Oh, Watson would be nothing compared to this.
Right.
We're talking, like, in the story, talking about how this can be 1,000 times faster than any supercomputer that exists today.
Right.
In
So
our,
but you
like,
figure how much has
in
been
the
done
near
with
future.
Watson.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, we're going to do this. And by the way, it's probably going to be better by the fall. It's like,
Yeah. So again, ask that question. How can we solve world hunger? You know, just answer me that. Well, first of all, you know, I got some suggestions. So it's gonna help with that kind of stuff.
right.
If it's in the right hands. Mm-hmm. And it's just nuts. Like, I am absolutely mind blown to the point of tongue tied. Because I put everything like this in the context of Data, and Data, the Star Trek character, because that's a positronic net, that's a neuromorphic computer,
Right.
and now we're actually this is like Dot, like this is the rudimentary introductory version of, hey, they've got the AI technology now, so it can think for itself. It can learn how to solve a Rubik's Cube in a second. And we've got the technology to make it fast and make it to be able to think in a very, very fast manner.
So like you work in tech.
Yeah.
And you do a lot
I
of...
don't work in AI. Like, this stuff just is mind-blowing
No,
to me.
but you do a lot of service calls and like people calling
Sure.
in. Could you imagine if there was an AI like a micro version of this that your company bought that allowed it to VPN into people's home computers to solve their problem automatically for them? Could you imagine how that would change your industry?
There's a lot in my industry that's redundant, and by that I mean it's like repetitive.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
always the same thing.
But
right?
that's the thing. You take something like this that can go like that.
Yeah.
Like how
And can
interesting would
talk.
that be?
I mean, talk to your Amazon Echo and be like, it sounds like a person.
It does.
They can
I
talk.
wonder-
They can. So, there's all kinds of ominous things here, but if in the right hands, this can be a very powerful tool for good.
Right, so this has just been unveiled and developed,
Yeah, mhm.
but autonomous vehicles are already out there, right?
Yeah, but I don't think
But-
So
you
now
can fit
tie
this
them in.
computer a
But
car.
I
No,
think
no,
you-
no.
no,
But,
but you
through the internet,
Yeah.
through
Yeah.
Wi-Fi, through LTE or 5G or whatever you want to
Yeah,
do, it's like it's always connected.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden you have this kind of a brain powering the neural network of autonomous vehicles.
Okay, do you remember about, I'm going to say a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, I don't know if it's a news story, but we talked about autonomous vehicles. And I said, wouldn't it be amazing if we can get to the point where traffic management through connected cars is instantaneous, where it goes based on people's driving patterns, their
Yes.
work hours,
Yeah.
reading off their schedule. And now we're getting to privacy and all that kind of stuff. But
Sure.
reading off your Google Calendar where you're supposed to be, drive time to go. You need to leave at this time. By the way, take that exit, and there's a computer somewhere that's routing all these autonomous cars. And it's
Yep.
like you just go, "Pfft, I'm good.
That's this moment.
And they're
That's
making flying taxis.
this. Yes.
I know. it's
And add
crazy.
that to the mix.
I know.
You have no reason to be late, ever.
It's like, the computer made you on time.
That's an amazing point. Hey, let's take a quick look at the cryptocurrency market. This is how it looks here in 2019 before the neural network allows us to mine massive amounts of Bitcoin. So right now, Bitcoin is sitting at $9,792.67. I'll just say everything's down. Bitcoin losing, though, it's the biggest loser, $2,137.35 in the minus from last week. Facebook Libre is still sitting at $0, and I'm going to keep telling you that because one day it's going to be worth a penny. And then that's when we know that Facebook is actually doing what they said they're going to do. Litecoin is at $91.03, down 16.72 cents. Ethereum at $213.72. Monero at $77.59. Now Torque is at 0.96 thousandths of a cent, and Turtlecoin also losing at 0.98 thousandths of a cent. Do remember, if you're going to mine, if you're going to invest or otherwise work in cryptocurrency, it's a market that never closes, and it's a market that is always volatile. So be careful and only invest what you can afford to lose. Yep.
Big thanks to Roy W. Nash and our community of viewers for submitting stories to us this week. Thanks for watching the Category 5.tv newsroom. Don't forget to like and subscribe for all your tech news with a slight Linux bias. And for more free content, be sure to check out our website. From the Category 5.tv newsroom, I'm Sasha Rickman.
And I'm Robbie Ferguson.
And I'm Jeff Weston.
Thank you again for being here with us this week. We do have to take a really quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Been so great having you here this week. Today is a very special day for me.
Yes!
I don't know if you know.
Birthday!
Yes, thank you. It's actually the big 4-0 today.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we mentioned that we've got together on the weekend. You guys threw a party, and that was
4 times in 1 week.
I know, it's crazy. How do you
So
put up
much.
with me?
One visit for every 10 years you've been alive.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's that.
We had a good time. I feel like we put you to work for your birthday, actually.
I was the barbecuer guy.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
Okay, have you noticed that as you add years to your life, you instantly just become like the barbecue guy? I have found over the last couple of years, it's like, hey, you're cooking for your birthday.
Yeah. Sure.
I'm okay
Why
with
not?
that. Like, I like the barbecue.
I make the best barbecue.
I don't know.
Those are
It's
For
good
Robbie's
barbecue,
birthday,
right?
I got a dash cam.
they were.
Oh yes. Wow. Look at how that worked out. What did I get?
You got to enjoy our social presence.
Yes,
That's right.
I know. Yeah.
Actually, no, it was good. It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So
Thank you for you didn't even know, but you're here with me on my birthday. So
So
I love
in
Wednesday
40
the work
years,
never ends. Yeah.
40 years, what's the biggest tech mind-blowing
The
thing
tech
for you?
change. Well, computers were invented in that time, Jeff.
Well, no.
Personal computers.
Okay, there we go. Yeah.
Personal computers. So my first computer was a VIC-20.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I mean that was late 70s, but I wasn't born until 79. So so it was just shortly after it was made popular that I got one, and that takes me back. I actually ordered a VIC-20 sign for the studio here.
Did you really?
Yeah, and it's on its way, probably from China or something on a boat, but it's going to hang on our wall. VIC-20 original advertisement from the original
That's cool.
promo. And incidentally, celebrating my birthday week this week as well is the 50 years of the landing on the moon.
Yes,
Which is pretty amazing. I mean, thinking about the technology. Now that was 10 years before my time, but think of how technology has changed since then. You can actually view and download the source code that took America to the moon
Really?
on GitHub. It's there.
That's cool.
Yeah. Just amazing stuff. But how has technology changed? I mean, take all of the technology from, say, 1969, so 10 years before my time, and condense it down into a Raspberry Pi computer
Right.
that fits in my pocket, and that's like more powerful. Mm-hmm. We're now talking about neural networks and things like that. It's only been 50 years since we were on the moon, and 40 years since Robbie was born. So I've seen all of this stuff change.
I know. And 12 years of Cat 5.
Yeah, that's
Not
true.
to make this about me,
Not to make it about me,
but I'm
but
pretty sure that my 40th birthday is also a Wednesday.
No way.
Yeah.
Nice.
Not next
So-
Wednesday, but
No.
a Wednesday.
She's got 11 years yet, folks.
Right.
yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know what I'm going to have for breakfast tomorrow, let alone look 4 years
Just did
in
the math.
future.
I
Amazing.
Googled it.
She asked the AI, Jeff,
1981 plus 40.
Wow.
And is it a Wednesday?
is it a Wednesday? Brilliant. So I
No.
hope you'll be here.
Speaking of tech and asking things,
Yes.
so while we were celebrating your birthday on the weekend,
Hmm.
we got talking about a particular piece of technology.
The Echo?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming tomorrow.
Hey,
I
nice.
finally broke
okay.
down.
Oh, is
and
this the gadget that you were
We've
talking
got
about? That you were
one
teasing
coming
about?
tomorrow.
That is
Nice.
great.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now we got to get into some of the smart home things that you can do, like being able to turn on and off your lights with voice command.
Yeah, first
I
I
have a
need to-
Nest. What type of thermostat do you have? It's really
I think
nice.
it's just a basic Honeywell.
Okay. Well, Honeywell may have connectivity. Some of them
No,
do.
this one doesn't.
Just an old basic
Yeah.
one. So call, get yourself a Nest or something like that. It's really, really nice to
Got
be able.
bird's nests. They're in the trees.
I'll tell you what. No matter where you are in the house, being able to say what's the temperature in the house and get a response, and then say turn the temperature down a half a degree.
Right.
Well,
It turns.
It's really handy.
It turns out it's super handy. Like if you're laying in bed, you can say, "Turn on the bedroom fan."
Oh, yeah.
Turn on
You
the
don't-
light.
You don't even have to
fan
sit
is
up and
Not
push the
mine,
button.
but
Oh,
right,
gotcha.
right. But you can just put the little dongle thing in the
Mm-hmm.
wall and then plug your fan into
Oh,
that, right?
gotcha.
And then you can voice command it to turn on.
so here's the funny thing.
Yeah.
You know that I've always been like, it's listening, and my wife has been, she's like, I don't need that. I
She
don't need
listens
listening
to
all
you?
the time.
Yeah.
No, actually, what sold us, was lists.
Shopping lists and
Yeah.
all
The
this
shopping
kind of
list.
stuff.
That was
Yeah,
the
such
game
a great
changer.
feature.
We talked about it a couple times
Yeah.
after we were at your place, and that is the thing she's excited about. And now,
Yeah.
like, I'm not a list person. I'm getting excited about it because so often we'll open up the fridge and it's like, where is that thing?
But so I have
Because
it in the
kids
kitchen.
ate it and don't tell us.
Right, but I have it in the kitchen. So, and this is the Amazon Echo Dot that I have, we use up the ketchup, or it's getting low, and I say, keyword, add ketchup to my shopping list.
Yeah.
And boom, boom,
Good
boom,
idea.
bing, it's on my phone. And then when I'm in the store, this is the brilliant part. When I'm in the store, it has a checklist, and I can check things off, and they
Yep.
vanish off of there. Now, I want to say, because I know you're concerned about it listening when it shouldn't listen, and I know some viewers have thought, I've heard stories, and this has been in the news. Like, come on, people, we need to do better journalism than this. That sometimes it will come on because it thought you said the word.
Right.
Okay. Or something that you said sounds like the keyword, and so it triggers on and starts listening and recording the conversation and sending it to Amazon.
Right.
That's a concern of some people. So what I did is I just, in my app, I set it to make a trigger tone. So every time it thinks it's heard the word,
It makes a sound.
it goes, doodling. It
Right,
chimes.
So that if you hear that, you know that it's
And then I say cancel.
Right.
So, because our keyword is computer, so sometimes we say the word computer in our day-to-day conversation,
I
Okay.
and it goes
imagine more than
"Ding-ding-ding,"
once.
and we
That
say
was gonna be
cancel.
that was going to be my question because we have some friends who
Yes.
the name is Alexia.
Okay, don't say it out loud though,
No, but
That's the name.
it's
without an I. But yeah.
yes, but that's what I'm saying. It's so close.
Oh, I see.
That-
Oh, the daughter, like the kid or the person.
we know-
Oh,
and so it's like
their
we would-
name is right.
Yeah, so we'd be
Okay.
having these
It's very
conversations
close.
about
Yeah.
and it's like I don't want to set the thing off or have it
Right. So-
call them or whatever. So what are the options?
ALEXA
Yeah.
is option one. That's the default. Computer is another one,
Yeah.
and Amazon.
Oh,
Those are your three options out of the box. Now, there is talk that firmware updates may eventually improve that and even make it so that you can customize it, but right now it's not possible.
so have you found that computer is the most
It's the most fun as Trekkies.
okay fair enough.
Computer, what's the date? And it answers me.
Okay, but from your
love it.
day-to-day
Yeah.
life use, you find that that's the one that doesn't trigger it as often.
No, it triggers a lot.
See,
it
that's-
triggers a lot.
That's
But we
my
just
fear.
say cancel because you hear the tone. It
Yeah.
goes diddling, and we say
okay.
cancel. That's all it takes, and then it stops listening. But if you're having conversations and you don't want it to ever listen, there is a
mute.
button,
physical
yeah.
mute button,
So, anyway.
and Google Home has that as well.
Well, and that's
It's
the
a
thing.
switch.
That's what I have. is
We
Google Home.
considered a Google Home, but I did some research.
Yeah.
And so many different reviews going down to the specs and features
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and functions. Like the Echo blew the Google Home out of the water.
Yeah, and I found that's my preference. I have both.
Yeah.
I haven't plugged in the Google Dot.
But
and-
interestingly enough, when we
Really
did the
like
review
mine.
in the
yeah,
studio,
they're nice, but
the Google impressed me more.
yeah. Really? In
yeah.
studio?
When
yeah.
when we did that show 6
Interesting.
months ago.
I think it's a matter of preference too.
I think
Yeah.
so.
And they're both very usable devices.
Right,
And
it's-
a lot of the stuff is compatible with both. You buy the light and it'll work on either.
Right.
So it doesn't matter.
I mean, I have a Fire Stick, right?
Yeah,
so
okay.
I have the ability to access, right? Because I can talk through it.
so you have a
it's
Google
enabled.
Home Mini, but you have an Amazon
Fire
Fire
Stick.
TV stick.
Yes.
Yeah. That's interesting.
I'm not
It
brand
all
loyal,
jives.
clearly. I just
It all
go
jives.
wherever
They
it
all
brings
talk to
me
one another.
But it does mean that I can also talk to her.
Yeah.
Well,
But when you ask the Google Home Mini to do something with the Fire TV stick, does it go,
I like never make them talk to each other. That's weird
That's
to
funny.
me.
So,
folks, we're right out of time. It's been a lot of fun having you here on my birthday. Starbucks gave me a free venti latte today
Yay!
for my
wow,
birthday.
that's like a mortgage payment they just saved.
Oh
you.
my goodness. And they wished me a happy birthday on Twitter, which was like, thanks, Starbucks.
Don't you love it when a
Pretty
computer
decent.
tweets?
This is I imagine that it was a real barista somewhere. Somewhere.
I got a friend who's a manager.
In
I'll
the
ask.
neural
Yeah,
network.
okay. Yeah.
That's right.
Have a wonderful week, everybody. It's been great having you here. Don't forget, we're on Twitter, Category 5 TV. You can also follow me personally, Robbie Ferguson. Also, we're on YouTube as Category 5 TV, as well as Linux Tech Show. Subscribe to both of those for all of our notifications. We post different things to different channels, and those are our two main ones. We're also in the Roku channel store, so you'll find us with a quick search. And we're on Plex and Kodi. If you go to my GitHub, it's github.com/cat5tv. Have a great week, everybody.
See ya.
See ya.